If you are a parent today, you are probably feeling a quiet, heavy pressure. You are trying to prepare your child for a future driven by artificial intelligence. But it's a future moving so quickly, it can be incredibly difficult to understand it yourself. For a long time, the path to success was pretty simple. We treated kids' minds like storage boxes. The goal was to pack them full of memorized facts, head down a straight, predictable road, and just try to travel faster than everyone else. But almost overnight, that straight road disappeared. We suddenly found ourselves standing in the middle of a dense, sprawling landscape, where every direction is a new path. When the destination is constantly changing, trying to carry an overstuffed backpack of memorized facts does not help. It just weighs you down. This is the reality of AI. It can instantly map out thousands of different routes to solve a single problem, write a paper, or answer a question. It gives us a massive web of intersecting options. This image contrasts how we used to think with how we need to think now. In the past, the ultimate tool was a speedometer, getting to a known destination quicker. Now the ultimate tool is a compass. We have to trade speed for direction. Looking at this chart, you can see the shift clearly on the right side. We are moving away from asking, how fast will this grow, and starting to ask, how many meaningful futures are now possible? In a world where you have a massive web of competing choices, the most valuable skill your child can have is not knowing the exact answer right away. It is having the mental filters to cut through the noise and choose the best path forward. So how do we teach them to do that? We sit down at the kitchen table and we build it with them. Right now, the default habit is to rent a mass market subscription. That approach pushes kids into a corner to stare at a screen alone, letting a remote machine do the thinking for them. Instead, you can set up a private intelligence system directly on your own phone or laptop. It is free, it belongs to you permanently, and no tech company sits in the middle of it. The strict rule here is that you and your child are never separated. You look at one shared screen, and you figure out the technology side by side. By doing this together, your child does not have to contort their thinking to match an app. They are building a tool from the ground up that actually mirrors how they naturally solve problems. This process breaks down into a simple 3-step filter. Step 1 is the machine mind. We use the AI as a tireless brainstorming engine to quickly sketch out every possible option. But as it generates these ideas, it leaves us with an overwhelming mess of raw computation. It gives us everything, which is almost as unhelpful as having nothing. This is where step 2 comes in, the human heart. This diagram illustrates how abstract digital paths have to be absorbed into a real human mind. Raw options are useless until we understand their consequences. Your child has to look at the machine suggestions and mentally test drive them. They learn to ask themselves what these options actually feel like in the real world and what the human trade-offs are. Then comes step 3, the village voice. Here, as shown by these overlapping circles, individual thoughts are brought together and evaluated through shared family intelligence. You talk about what is actually ethical, useful, and valuable to your specific household. This leads directly into what we call the audit habit. You look closely at what the machine produced, pinpoint exactly where it made a mistake, and correct the tool together. This image shows the final result. That 3-step process acts as a decisive filter, squeezing out the chaotic noise of 1,000 different options and leaving you with one clear, meaningful action. There is a hidden benefit to this process. By auditing the AI and showing it exactly where it failed, the child has to verbalize their own logic, families apart into separate, isolated rooms. Now, that same piece of glass becomes a unified workspace. You walk away with genuine control. You aren't crossing your fingers and hoping the digital future is kind to your kids. You are actively commanding the tools, rather than letting the tools command you. This diagram captures the entire dynamic. The top layer is the machine expanding our options, but it all has to funnel through the bottom layer, human action. The machine provides the horsepower, but our values steer the wheel. We do not have to keep treating our kids like storage units. We can let them drop the heavy weight of rote memorization. Instead, we can walk with them into this complex new landscape, equipped with a tool they understand inside and out. You leave this experience with a private AI assistant your family owns forever and a shared language for tackling the future together. We can stop pushing them blindly down a straight path. If we give them a compass and teach them how to use it, they can